Hello, brothers. In a recent diplomatic statement, Foreign Minister Wang Yi clearly articulated the position of the East on the Taiwan issue. He stated that the only designation for Taiwan is Chinese Taipei. It has never been a country. It cannot become a country in the future. This attitude reflects unprecedented stability in the East regarding unification. More importantly, it symbolizes that the East's Taiwan Strait strategy has entered a new phase. Looking back at the East's Taiwan policy over the decades, one can clearly see a trajectory from tolerance to increasing firmness. This change is not accidental. It is the result of the East's rising comprehensive strength and changes in the international landscape. Historically, the East once offered Taiwan significant autonomy, including maintaining military forces for self-governance. It respected social systems, nearly approaching a federal arrangement. After this proposal was rejected, the East proposed a one country, two systems, and the 1992 consensus as flexible models. However, they have never received a positive response from the Taiwan authorities. Now, Wang Yi's statement clearly sends a signal. The benefits have been stated. Next comes the clear rules. This shift in attitude reflects the East's confidence and decisiveness in handling core interests. Taiwan has missed the window for special political arrangements. Taiwan has missed the window for special political arrangements. Now, the only option is Taiwan province. One might consider, would a normal major power allow its territory to be occupied by external forces for long? From the American Civil War to Russia's recovery of Crimea, history tells us the answer is no. The East's change in attitude is simply a return to the normal logic of major powers. For a long time, the complexity of the Taiwan issue has been largely due to the American factor. However, recent international developments show that America's ability to maintain its Asia-Pacific strategy is weakening. The most symbolic is the East's military exercises near Australia. This is not only a direct challenge to American allies. It is also a test of America's dominance in the Asia-Pacific. Even more thought-provoking is that in response to this action, the American government has remained unusually silent. There are deeper reasons behind this reaction. The American strategic focus is shifting from East Asia to facing challenges from the Pacific to the Atlantic. America is encountering a dilemma in resource allocation. The pressure of multi-front operations forces the U.S. to undergo strategic contraction, and the Taiwan issue is being reassessed. If even formal allies like Australia do not receive clear security guarantees, what can Taiwan expect? The substance of the U.S. policy towards Taiwan is shifting from strategic asset to strategic burden. For America, the value of Taiwan is no longer sufficient to support a full-scale confrontation with the East. The international order is undergoing profound changes. From the Ukraine crisis to conflicts in the Middle East, to tensions in the Indo-Pacific, we see that the international order under U.S. unipolar dominance is crumbling as emerging powers actively seek their sphere of influence. It is particularly noteworthy that within the framework of the United Nations, China, the U.S., and Russia have begun to show rare signs of cooperation on certain key issues. This further indicates a shift towards a multipolar world order. That is, the U.S., the East, and Russia leading their respective spheres of influence. Other smaller nations must navigate their positions between these three powers. In this emerging landscape, traditional notions of sovereignty are being redefined. America is considering expanding its control over North America, including Canada and Greenland. Russia is working to rebuild its influence in the former Soviet regions. The East will naturally establish its sphere of influence in the Asia-Pacific. Taiwan is undoubtedly a core component of this sphere. Although the East possesses the military capability to resolve the Taiwan issue, recovering Taiwan may not be the optimal choice at this stage. This is because the Taiwan issue currently is providing a strategic advantage to the East. As long as the Taiwan issue persists, the U.S. must maintain a substantial military presence in the Asia-Pacific. This greatly consumes American resources. In 2024, The U.S. defense budget approached $900 billion, with a significant portion allocated to the Asia-Pacific, accelerating America's strategic depletion. Secondly, from the perspective of resource acquisition and strategic space, other directions may offer greater returns. Take Australia as an example, which possesses iron ore and oil, strategic resources that the East urgently needs. Its vast territory has a population of only 20 million, and its military strength is very limited. In terms of resource value versus strategic cost, Australia is actually more attractive than Taiwan. Most importantly, directly resolving the Taiwan issue would trigger collective sanctions from the West. Choosing other strategic directions may face less international resistance. This is a simple cost-benefit calculation. It is the same military action. Why not choose directions with less resistance and greater benefits? Currently, the situation is not just about Taiwan. It is a restructuring of the strategic landscape in the Indo-Pacific region. On this larger chessboard, Taiwan is just one of many pieces. Traditionally, it has been restricted by the first island chain. Taiwan is a key link in this chain. However, with the significant enhancement of naval and air force capabilities, especially with the emergence of sixth-generation aircraft, there is now the capability to operate directly in the Western Pacific. Taiwan is no longer the only pivot to break the chain. If the strategic vision expands to the entire Indo-Pacific region, Southeast Asia, the South Pacific, and even Australia may provide greater strategic support. Controlling these areas allows access to abundant resources and creates a strategic encirclement of Taiwan. This would make the resolution of the Taiwan issue more logical. This strategic circumvention does not abandon the goal of unifying Taiwan. Instead, it aims to create more favorable conditions for unification by altering the regional balance of power. As ancient strategists said, to win without fighting is the best. This is wise leadership. The current international order is undergoing a major change unseen in a century. The relative decline of U.S. hegemony, Russia's strategic resurgence, and the ongoing rise of China are pushing the world toward multipolarity. In this context, China faces a historic opportunity to reshape the order in the Asia-Pacific. The essence of this opportunity lies in the power vacuum emerging as U.S. strategy contracts. Whoever fills this vacuum will occupy a favorable position in the future international order. In a sense, the Taiwan issue has transcended mere unification. It has become a litmus test for China's ability to establish regional dominance. By properly addressing the Taiwan issue, China can demonstrate its determination and capability as a responsible major power. At the same time, it is evident that changes in the international order often come with risks and challenges. History teaches us that the rise of major powers is never smooth. It is filled with twists and trials. China must firmly safeguard its core interests while avoiding strategic overreach. The timing and method for resolving the Taiwan issue must be carefully chosen. Foreign Minister Wang Yi's statement reflects that China's policy towards Taiwan has entered a new phase. It is no longer a question of whether Taiwan will return, but rather how and when. This inevitable trend is driven by China's continuous enhancement of comprehensive strength and profound changes in the international landscape. The world today is experiencing unprecedented changes. The relative decline of U.S. hegemony provides China with a historic opportunity to reshape the Asia-Pacific order. However, strategic wisdom requires not only recognizing the necessity of the goal, but also grasping the best path to achieve it. At this stage, China should focus more on creating an international environment conducive to unification. This includes breaking the U.S. strategic blockade, expanding influence in the Asia-Pacific region, and enhancing its own comprehensive strength. The tide of history rolls forward. Taiwan will ultimately return to the embrace of the motherland. Finally, it is hoped that everyone will like and follow the strategic insights of Xiaojiumiai. So intricate. Let me help you see clearly.